hard to believe it's been almost 2 years since Michael Bay premiered the movie Transformers. A movie about toys that everybody expects to suck, but surprise, surprise, it actually turned out to be pretty awesome. Now, practically 2 years till the day, he premieres the movie Transformers 2, Revenge of the Fallen. Hey everybody, it's me Carlitos here again, and today I'm reviewing Transformers 2, Revenge of the Fallen.
B, I want to talk to you about the college thing, okay?
I'm so excited.
Hey, I'm not taking you with me.
The movie follows Sam Witwicky and the Autobots, this time around going against Megatron, who's been resurrected, and against his leader, the Fallen. Who's the Fallen, I ask? Turns out to be a Transformer from back in the day, who was banished from Earth and now has come back to reclaim his throne. That's the gist of what's going on there. The problem is Sam Witwicky and Optimus Prime this time around have to not only prevent Megatron from taking over, but also the Fallen from taking over the world using the Matrix of Leadership. Oh yeah, that's cool, ain't it? That's the basic plot of the whole movie right there. The movie doesn't get any more complicated than that. I mean, do you really expect it to? It's a Transformers movie. It's not running for Oscars, guys. Come on now. It's made for kids, practically. So it doesn't have the most well-put story or the most well-written screenplay. But you can let it go. Why? Because it's an action movie. It's a fun movie. It's for kids. So all that stuff, you can just let right go and enjoy the movie. I mean, it doesn't get too incredibly stupid. At some points, if you're a hardcore Transformers 1 fan, you can't notice when they go back on some of the things in the first one. But other than that, the movie stays pretty simple and it goes straight forward. What's interesting to note is this screenplay was written by the guys who wrote Star Trek. So maybe they spent more time writing Star Trek than they did this. That's perfectly fine, the screenplay still works and they knew what they were doing. This isn't to say the movie doesn't have any emotional impact, because it does, especially right in the middle of the movie, when a significant event happens that'll change the entirety of Transformers itself. Watch for it, guys. It'll tear your heart right out. As far as actors go, everyone is back except for Jon Voight. Everyone else is back to do the business they did in the first one, which includes Shia LaBeouf, Megan Fox, and John Turturro, just to name a few. And surprisingly, they do pretty well once again. However, this time they're outshined more by the Transformers, which include also Optimus Prime, of course, and Bumblebee, Megatron, and everybody else. And believe me, when I say everybody else, I say it because I can't even count the number of them how we're on screen. There's a ton of them. The estimate online is supposedly 43. I don't really know. I didn't really count them. But there's a ton. And trust me, at times, more than half the movie, they'll outshine the actors on screen. Yes, guys, that means you'll probably be watching the Transform more than you will with Megan Fox this time around. But don't worry, guys. You're not missing much in this one. Turns out Megan Fox reveals herself less in this movie than she did in the last one. But really, you get her in the movie anyway, so it's not all a total loss for you guys, I guess. Acting-wise, Transformers far outdo the actors themselves on screen. Megan Fox hasn't really done anything since Transformers besides a trailer for Tropic Thunder, I think. Or was it Transalienate People? It doesn't matter. Anyway, she doesn't do that well here. She's getting a little better since the last time, but not that much. And as far as Shia LaBeouf goes, his is actually pretty funny because halfway through the movie, a little cast appears on his hand right there. And it's funny about that because the only reason it's there is because of that car crash he had during production of the movie. They try to write it in there saying that he got his hand burned and Megan Fox somehow manages to wrap a cast around his arm in the middle of the desert. But it doesn't really bite. It's kind of hilarious to see on screen. But it's alright. Like I said, it's a Transformers movie. You can let that stuff go. Going back to that Transformers and they're fighting, oh man, it's just all off the wall. This time the shots of Transformers are better coordinated than the first one. In the first movie, when I went to see it in theaters, I felt kind of blinded in a way and confused. Seeing that big screen right there, I was kind of confused with some of the things that were going on. This time around, the shots are much more clear and the Transformer fights are much more brutal. This time, they're beating each other's ass to shit, man. It is incredible. And it is incredible. At one point, Jetfire even recreates the American History X scene and curb stomps one of the Decepticons. It is tight. Not to mention Optimus Prime beats the shit out of everybody in the forest, man. Man, it reminded me right at 300 when Linus is cutting people left and right. It was tight. You're gonna love that, I promise you. So that's my review for the movie right there. That's all I can really say about it without giving too much away. I mean, it's really easy to give a lot away with this movie. I mean, if you really watch the trailer slowly, there's a ton of it given away. So that's why I suggest don't do it now. Go watch it in the theaters. Like I said, if you like the first one, you're going to love this one. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's a Transformers movie. It's fun. Alright, go watch it. See some robots kick some ass. It is great. It's wonderful. I recommend it for any fan of Transformers. Alright? So you may be asking, why 8 out of 10, Carlitos? What's wrong with the movie? Well, there's two things that really hold the movie back from being a 10 out of 10. Besides the story, of course, where I said it's easy to overlook. That's the fact that the comedy in there isn't always all that great sometimes. Like there's a little robot you'll see in the clip right here that he's funny to watch, but then when he talks too much, it kind of drops you out of the movie a bit because he's talking a lot and won't let things go. Later on, he even humps Megan Fox's leg. Well, it is funny. It reminds us too much of the scene in Transformers 1 where Bumblebee pees on the guy. Although it's kind of funny, it's really out of place from the rest of the movie. It really doesn't belong there at all. Another thing that holds it back is the movie is 2.5 hours long, which is long enough, but there's a tons of scenes that in the movie that could easily be deleted because they contribute neither to the story, which of course was lacking already, and neither to even the Transformers. So they're just there just because there were stars in the movie that needed extra star power for the film. And those parts can really slow down the flow of the movie a lot. Other than that, like I said, the movie is pretty good, and if you're a fan of Transformers 1, you'll definitely dig this one, alright? Remember, guys, go watch it, 8 out of 10. You'll love it if you love the first one. If you don't like the first one, don't watch it. You're going to hate it. Alright? Night.